Think about the acts you performed this morning. Perhaps you resisted the urge to complain, chose honesty over convenience, or simply offered a smile when you felt tired. Such actions, though they may appear insignificant, carry eternal weight. The world rarely applauds these quiet gestures, yet they are the very notes of a melody that resonates in the heavens. God measures more than visibility or accolades. He measures intention, faithfulness, and love expressed in even the most common moments. Intentions, after all, are the invisible currency of spiritual impact. A good deed without sincerity is like a seed planted in barren soil. It may appear complete, but it bears no fruit. What matters is the heart behind the act. When you chose to act with honesty, patience, or generosity this morning, God noticed not merely the motion but the meaning. He understood the struggle, the small sacrifices, and the quiet courage required. Even when your day felt routine, your intentionality created a resonance in the spiritual realm that no eye could see but His. Consistency is the silent architect of character. Mornings are more than a series of tasks. They are tests of resolve and faithfulness. How you greet the day, how you face the small annoyances, and how you prioritize what truly matters are all shaping who you are becoming. Repetition of virtue in quiet moments molds a soul capable of extraordinary endurance, wisdom, and influence. Each morning, every small decision to rise above convenience or comfort is a brick laid in the foundation of your destiny. Faithful actions, often performed without recognition, are the ones that most deeply touch God's heart. When you quietly choose right over easy, integrity over popularity, or patience over anger, you are participating in a spiritual economy that does not rely on human acknowledgement. The world may ignore these choices, but in the divine perspective, they are monumental. Your obedience matters precisely because it is unnoticed by others. It is a declaration that your loyalty is not contingent on applause. Life presents challenges in the most ordinary moments. Mornings especially contain tests hidden within routine, a moment of frustration, a temptation to delay, a small ethical choice. How you respond to these trials reveals the strength of your inner character. Courage, patience, and perseverance are not born in grand events, but in the quiet triumphs over small daily obstacles. Each challenge you meet is an opportunity to display resilience and faithfulness that resonates far beyond the visible world. Understand that your life is part of a greater symphony. Every thought, word, and action contributes to a melody that God is orchestrating. Even what seems trivial is a note in a composition of eternal significance. What you did this morning, no matter how small, contributed to that harmony. God's attention is not scattered. He is attuned to the rhythm of your life, and your faithful steps, however quiet, have moved His heart. The seemingly simple choices, the prayers whispered, the patience practiced, the integrity maintained, are part of a plan far greater than your understanding, and they are noticed, cherished, and held in divine regard. Remember this: the morning may end, the day may pass, and the world may never acknowledge your efforts. But God did. Your choices matter. Your character is being built. Your quiet acts of faithfulness and courage are shaping not only your destiny, but touching the heart of the Creator Himself. Today, as in every morning, you had the opportunity to be a chosen one, and your small, faithful acts mattered infinitely. It is a remarkable truth, often overlooked, that the most ordinary actions we perform in the quiet hours of the morning can carry consequences far beyond what our eyes can perceive. When you rose this morning, the choices you made, the way you began your day, the way you interacted with those around you, and even the way you disciplined your thoughts, were not trivial. Every act, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, has the potential to leave an imprint on the world and in the eyes of God. Consider for a moment the cup of coffee you made with care, the decision to speak gently rather than harshly, or the choice to fulfill a task you could have delayed. These may appear inconsequential in the rush of daily life, but in reality, they are echoes of moral and spiritual weight, each one registering in a way that transcends immediate visibility. It is as though the universe itself pauses to note the ripple caused by even the tiniest pebble thrown into the stream of your morning. What is often missed is that these small acts are the groundwork of character. Character is rarely built in moments of grandeur. It is forged in the quiet repetition of daily choices. The consistent decision to rise early, to confront your responsibilities, to act with patience and integrity, is the subtle work of shaping who you are becoming. This is why mornings are so critical. They are the setting in which ordinary decisions become extraordinary. When you greet your day with intention, even in the mundane tasks, you set the tone not only for your actions, but also for the moral direction of your life. A single choice to act with kindness rather than irritation, to prioritize what is right over what is easy, or to maintain composure in the face of annoyance, may appear trivial to the human eye, but resonates profoundly in the spiritual realm. Moreover, the cumulative effect of these small acts cannot be underestimated. Each morning is a chain of moments, and each moment offers an opportunity to influence not only your life, but also the lives of others in ways that are often invisible. A word spoken in patience can diffuse anger, a thoughtful action can inspire courage, a disciplined choice can model integrity. These ripples extend outward, touching unseen lives, and, whether or not we are aware of it, they contribute to a larger pattern of goodness and influence. God perceives these actions not as isolated occurrences, but as threads woven into the greater tapestry of life. What you might dismiss as insignificant can, in reality, become the catalyst for transformation, healing, or inspiration in ways that transcend your imagination. Even more profoundly, small acts of faithfulness have a spiritual significance that is immediate and eternal. When you choose to rise early to pray, to read, or to engage in thoughtful reflection, it is not merely a personal discipline. It is a declaration of alignment with divine purpose. When you act with love, patience, and honesty, even when no one else notices, these acts resonate in the unseen, creating harmony with the values and intentions of God. The smallest gestures, carried out with sincerity and attention, carry a weight that can influence the course of your own life and the spiritual atmosphere of the world around you. It is a gentle but profound reminder that life is not measured solely by grand achievements or public recognition, but by the faithfulness and integrity exhibited in ordinary moments. It is also worth noting that these morning acts serve as preparation for the challenges of the day. By beginning your day with care, reflection, and intentionality, you are building resilience and moral clarity. Small victories in the morning, resisting irritation, offering grace, performing a task diligently, prepare you to navigate larger trials with strength and composure. This is why the morning is not merely a time of routine, but a proving ground for character. Each choice, though minute, accumulates into a foundation that will support you when the pressures of life increase. The morning, then, is an arena in which greatness is quietly cultivated through ordinary acts. In essence, the smallness of your morning acts is deceptive. Though they may appear trivial, each act is imbued with a significance that reaches beyond the immediate, beyond the visible, and into the eternal. Your patience, your diligence, your kindness, and your integrity are all noticed and valued in ways that surpass human understanding. The morning, with its routine and ordinary moments, is a sacred opportunity to contribute to a narrative far greater than the self. What you did today, in the quiet and unnoticed hours, touched something eternal. The recognition is not always immediate, and the results are often invisible, yet the impact is profound and lasting. It is not merely the act itself that holds value, but the intention behind it that determines its true significance. Two individuals can perform the same outward action, yet the moral and spiritual weight of those actions can differ greatly depending on the heart that drives them. A simple act, such as helping someone with a task, can be hollow if done solely for recognition or reward, while an equally simple act performed with genuine concern, humility, and love carries profound significance. The divine perspective does not measure the visible magnitude of what you do, but the purity and sincerity of why you do it. This is why your intentions in the quiet hours of the morning matter so much. They define the essence of your choices and reveal the alignment of your character with higher principles. When you rise and choose to act with integrity, patience, or care, even in the smallest decisions, you are shaping your moral fiber in ways that are invisible to others yet fully visible to God. Intentions create a framework within which actions gain meaning. The same outward act can be destructive or constructive, depending on the underlying purpose. Consider the act of giving. If one gives out of obligation, guilt, or the hope of praise, the act loses much of its spiritual potency. Conversely, giving with genuine compassion, freely and without expectation, transforms that simple gesture into an expression of grace. Every morning offers countless opportunities to align your intentions with what is right and good, whether it is choosing honesty over convenience, kindness over impatience, or discipline over indulgence. In these moments, your intention becomes the lens through which your actions are magnified, shaping both your personal growth and the unseen effects your behavior has on the world around you. The relationship between intention and action is also crucial in developing self-awareness. When you are mindful of why you act in a certain way, you gain insight into the patterns of your heart and mind. Each morning provides a reset, a chance to evaluate not only what you do, but why you do it. Did you perform your tasks out of a sense of duty, fear, or expectation, or were they motivated by a deeper commitment to integrity and virtue? This reflection is essential because it allows you to discern the difference between superficial compliance and genuine moral engagement. Acting with conscious intention cultivates authenticity, strengthens character, and establishes a foundation for consistent, meaningful living. Without such mindfulness, actions risk becoming hollow routines devoid of depth or lasting impact. Furthermore, intentions affect not only the moral weight of your own life, but the influence you have on others. People are sensitive to authenticity, even when unspoken. A genuine smile, a patient word, or a quiet act of service resonates because it reflects a heart aligned with goodness. Conversely, actions performed with ulterior motives, even if outwardly beneficial, can sow confusion, mistrust, or emptiness. When you approach your day with deliberate and positive intentions, you create a subtle but powerful ripple in the lives of others. It is in the alignment of heart and deed that trust, inspiration, and moral influence are cultivated. Your morning choices, guided by sincere intention, therefore become a source of encouragement and light to those around you, often in ways you cannot immediately observe. Intentions also serve as a measure of spiritual growth. True maturity is revealed not in grand accomplishments, but in the integrity of purpose behind ordinary actions. A person who consistently acts from a place of thoughtful intention demonstrates stability, discernment, and self-mastery. Morning routines, often overlooked, are a daily arena in which this discipline can be exercised. The choices you make before the world fully awakens, how you respond to irritation, how you prioritize your tasks, how you treat yourself and others, reflect the inner state of your heart. Cultivating right intentions ensures that your actions are not empty gestures, but meaningful contributions to both personal development and a greater good. Lastly, the quiet attention to intention fosters a relationship with the divine that goes beyond ritual or formality. When you act with conscious purpose, you participate in a spiritual dialogue in which God is aware not only of what you do, but why you do it. He notices when you strive to act rightly, even in unseen moments, and he values the earnest effort of a heart aligned with his principles. This awareness elevates ordinary acts into extraordinary expressions of faithfulness. The morning, with its choices and opportunities, becomes a sacred space in which your intentions shape the moral and spiritual significance of your entire day, laying the groundwork for a life of integrity, impact, and alignment with eternal purpose. Consistency is the silent architect of character, shaping not only who you are today, but also who you are becoming for the days, months, and years ahead. It is in the repeated, ordinary actions of life that character is forged, and it is through these consistent choices that destiny is gradually written. The morning, often overlooked as a mundane segment of the day, is a critical proving ground for this consistency. How you begin your day, how you face the first challenges, and how you maintain focus and discipline in seemingly small matters all accumulate into habits that define the trajectory of your life. Each morning you rise, you are offered a quiet but profound opportunity to either strengthen your character or allow it to weaken through neglect. The repeated decisions to act with integrity, patience, diligence, and compassion, no matter how small, form the scaffolding upon which your life's larger achievements and purpose will rest. Consistency is more than simply performing actions repeatedly. It is the cultivation of reliability in thought, word, and deed, the choice to maintain a steady rhythm of positive behavior, even when circumstances are difficult or the rewards are unseen, is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. It is easy to act with virtue when life is favorable or when recognition is guaranteed, but true character is revealed when discipline and morality are maintained quietly, when no one else is watching. Mornings, with their quiet opportunities and routine demands, provide countless moments to practice this kind of steadfastness. By consistently choosing the path of diligence over distraction, patience over irritation, and purpose over complacency, you are steadily building a life that is resilient, purposeful, and aligned with your higher potential. The value of consistent action is not only in immediate outcomes, but also in its compounding effect over time. Small, repeated choices, though they may seem inconsequential in isolation, accumulate to produce profound results. This principle applies to moral growth, personal development, and even the influence you have on others. A single morning spent in intentional reflection, disciplined preparation, or acts of kindness may not appear monumental, but repeated over weeks, months, and years, it establishes patterns of behavior that define your identity and shape your destiny. It is through this invisible accumulation of consistent effort that extraordinary lives are quietly created. Consistency ensures that progress is not left to chance, but becomes a reliable expression of deliberate purpose. Moreover, consistency in action reinforces integrity, which is the cornerstone of character. When your words, actions, and intentions are aligned day after day, you cultivate trust, first with yourself, then with others, and ultimately with the divine. Character is not a static trait, it is a living, evolving quality that grows stronger through the repeated practice of virtue. The morning, often a time when the mind and spirit are still forming their rhythm for the day, becomes an essential arena for this development. Whether it is through small decisions to maintain focus, to show patience, or to act with honesty, each consistent choice solidifies the moral and spiritual framework upon which your future will be built. Consistency also shapes destiny because habits formed in the morning extend outward into all areas of life. The ability to rise early, to approach tasks with discipline, and to respond thoughtfully to daily challenges creates momentum that carries into career, relationships, and personal goals. When the practice of virtue becomes habitual, it transforms from effortful discipline into instinctive action, guiding decisions and responses without constant deliberation. This is the hidden power of consistency. It molds both character and destiny simultaneously, quietly guiding the individual toward a life aligned with purpose, responsibility, and potential. Equally important is the resilience developed through consistent practice. Life is filled with uncertainties and unexpected trials, yet the discipline cultivated through repeated, purposeful actions strengthens the capacity to withstand these challenges. The morning, with its predictable but demanding routine, provides the perfect opportunity to cultivate this resilience. Each time you overcome irritation, resist distraction, or choose patience over impulse, you reinforce an inner strength that will support you when life presents more significant obstacles. In this way, consistency not only shapes character, but equips you with the fortitude to navigate the unknown and fulfill your greater purpose. Consistent morning practices create a rhythm that aligns personal effort with divine timing. Each choice, repeated faithfully, contributes to a life that is not only disciplined, but attuned to the opportunities and responsibilities that unfold naturally over time. Your destiny is not merely a product of chance, it is cultivated through repeated alignment of your actions with higher principles. Morning consistency, therefore, is not mundane, it is sacred. It shapes your moral and spiritual landscape, prepares you for challenges, strengthens your character, and propels you toward the fulfillment of your unique potential in ways that are profound and enduring. There is a quiet power in actions performed without recognition, in decisions made without an audience, and in moral courage exercised when no one else is watching. Obedience and faith, when expressed in these silent moments, carry a depth of meaning that often goes unnoticed by the world, but is profoundly acknowledged in the spiritual realm. Life presents countless opportunities to act rightly in private, whether it is choosing honesty over deception, patience over frustration, or diligence over procrastination. These moments, though invisible to others, are the very instances in which character is revealed and refined. God observes the heart behind each choice, and it is the fidelity of these unseen acts that holds enduring significance. What you do when the world is unaware becomes a testimony not to public acclaim, but to inner integrity and spiritual alignment. Silence does not diminish the value of obedience. It intensifies it. The temptation to act differently when recognition is possible is a common human struggle. Yet the decision to remain faithful in quiet circumstances demonstrates a maturity that cannot be fabricated. True obedience is tested in the absence of applause, and it is in these unseen choices that faith manifests most vividly. When you adhere to principle, fulfill responsibility, or extend kindness without expecting return or acknowledgement, you are participating in a moral and spiritual economy that transcends human perception. Each silent act of obedience becomes a seed planted in the fertile soil of your character, cultivating resilience, trustworthiness, and spiritual depth. Faith, like obedience, flourishes in the unseen. The morning often offers small trials that are not noticed by others: the choice to start the day with purpose, the effort to rise early despite fatigue, or the decision to maintain calm in the face of irritation. These trials, though subtle, are tests of both faith and character. Responding rightly in these moments signals a commitment to a higher standard, a loyalty to principle that is independent of external validation. It is precisely in such moments that God observes the sincerity of your heart. The silent victories of faith, moments when you resist temptation, act patiently, or fulfill a duty faithfully, may never make headlines, but they are monumental in their impact on your moral and spiritual trajectory. Obedience in silence also builds a profound inner strength. When you are willing to follow the right path without applause, you cultivate an internal compass that guides decisions in more challenging situations. Habits of faithful, quiet obedience create a reliability in character that prepares you for more visible and demanding opportunities. The discipline exercised in private forms the backbone of resilience and integrity, enabling you to act rightly even when external pressures are intense. Your faithfulness in the mundane, unnoticed moments is a rehearsal for the tests and triumphs that will define your larger journey. Furthermore, silent acts of obedience and faith carry a subtle but profound influence on the spiritual environment around you. Though others may not perceive the immediate effect of your choices, your consistent alignment with virtue creates a resonance that shapes the moral atmosphere. The calm patience you display, the integrity you uphold, and the diligence you maintain influence the world in ways that are often intangible but deeply significant. These acts contribute to a pattern of goodness and stability that impacts not only your life but the lives of others, often in ways you will never fully comprehend. There is also an inherent spiritual reward in choosing obedience and faithfulness without expectation of recognition. When you act rightly for the sake of principle rather than praise, you are cultivating a purity of intention that deepens your moral and spiritual capacity. Such acts align your life with higher principles, reinforcing the connection between your actions and the ultimate purpose of your existence. The silent choices you make each morning consistently guided by integrity and faith, become the foundation upon which trust, discipline, and spiritual growth are built. They demonstrate a commitment to values that transcend circumstance, convenience, or acknowledgement, embodying the essence of true character. Obedience and faith recognized in silence reflect a profound truth, that the measure of your life is not determined by public accolades, but by the alignment of your actions with principle and purpose. What is done quietly, faithfully, and rightly carries weight beyond immediate comprehension. Your silent acts of obedience and faith, though unseen by others, shape your character, strengthen your resilience, and resonate in the spiritual realm, affirming that every right choice, no matter how private, has enduring significance.